Welcome to the GGB Supplier Showcase. I'm Frank Legato. Today we are featuring Interblock, and we have John Connelly as our guest, who is the global CEO of Interblock. Welcome to the program, John. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, G2E coming up here. What is your big product? Your novel product? What's going to be the star of the show?
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to, I guess there's several items, but we're going to release a new product category this year at G2E, which we hope will create some excitement in the industry. When we talk about Interblock, we primarily historically have talked about three areas. We have stadiums, we have standalone products like the mechanical roulette as an example, and then the universal cabinets, the single seat product line. But this year we're going to launch a fourth category at the show, which is a live dealer electronic table game pit. So it's essentially a traditional pit, fits in the same pit size, uses the same dealers. We've just implemented technology to make those dealers infinitely more productive in the amount of decisions per hour they can generate, the amount of side bets they're able to handle, so to increase house advantage. So just trying to take the traditional live table game pit that we've seen for decades and bring it to the next level of efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this anything like you have at the live properties? I know you have areas that have live dealers in the front and a lot of kind of a stadium setup.
Yeah, it's a little different. What we found, if you think about Interblock, it's interesting. 6 years ago when I joined, almost 7, time flies. The company was predominantly a mechanical roulette. The founder of Interblock created the first mechanical roulette device about over 25 years ago, long time. And the company foundation was predicated on that. And in 2015, 94% of the company's revenue was derived off that one product. Fast forward to today, over 6-7 years, we've learned that electronic table games, just like slots, you have high denom, low denom, video, stepper, reels. ETGs we've learned over the years is similar in nature. There's many different product categories and demographics and demands associated. So we have stadiums that's more social. Live dealers up in the front that can go automated, and we install, on average right now, we install one of those almost a week across North America. So it's I think now when you come to Vegas to see G2E, I think 85% of the strip in downtown have a stadium from Interblock. So it's really become a staple and a great social environment for people to spend time. The standalone units, again, historically have been a strong product, a little bit more social. a little less social, but still you're able to play with other people around a device. And then the universal cabinet we created was more of a single person or a couple sitting in love seats, all being different people, all different demographics. There is crossover, but very little. We believe there's another category that's those people that are still going over to a live table, not playing an electronic table game, not playing one of those three categories. They still want to sit close to that dealer and have that more intimate environment with a table and table in front of them. So we've tried to create a new offering that will launch at this year's show that again we think caters to another type of player on that casino floor. So we'll see.
And is that more new hardware as well? I know you've come out with that one new cabinet. How have you tweaked the hardware on your other configurations? You have a lot of different configurations.
So to put in perspective, at this year's G2E, I think we're up to around 33 different products on the booth versus predominantly 6-7 years ago. So we've broken the booth into different demographic categories and deliverable or distribution methods. This particular one will use PlayStations associated with a live table because the PlayStation will allow us to split the screen and have a player play 2 games with a dealer, play side bets, more automation, less mistakes by the dealer. So there's a lot of things you can do with technology. And the analogy I keep using and what really made us think of this is that as I travel around the world in airports and over the years getting older, everything's with kiosks now. Everything's automated. We don't go and stand in these long queues usually. Sometimes we do.
Right.
And so how do you use that ability and technology to drive a better player experience, but yet utilize live dealers, increase performance, increase house advantage, combining the two together? And so we think we figured that out. Using the same square footage, that's also very important because some casinos can't fit a big stadium. So having the ability to fit inside of a pit and automate that pit with technology, we think is the feedback we got from some of our pre-G2E meetings has been incredible. People are, I think, quite pleased. So I hope the same reaction we'll see at G2E.
Now you've had a pretty theatrical kind of presentation at your booth in the past, kind of cut off. You kind of enter a new world. Are you planning on doing that again this year?
Yeah, last year it was interesting. We enclosed our booth last year, and you had to be on a list to access. It was VIP only. And we intend to do the same this year. The reason we do this is twofold. One, obviously we've unfortunately discovered that many people just like to enter our booth to record and take pictures of all of our hard work and innovation from the people inside the company. And we don't want to make it too easy for them to do that. Secondly, the environment inside is really exclusive because it's amazing when you just have customers that are there to do business or to see us versus just anybody coming into your booth. It's incredible how much easier it is to walk around a booth and to demonstrate things, your products, and have conversations without all the people that are there that really shouldn't be there. So we're going to do it again this year, and hopefully with good feedback.
Now, how have the effects of the pandemic been on you? Have you had any difficulties with supply chain issues and things like that? Do you think it's all over with that now?
So anybody that tells you they didn't, I don't want to say that they're lying, but they're lying. We all suffered from logistical challenges during COVID. From our perspective, very fortunate we were able to navigate through that in a number of ways, whether it be re-engineering to different components that gave us more flexibility during COVID. Making those decisions early on, I think, really helped us a lot. And then fast forward to today, we think, from our perspective, we've now navigated and found enough supply chains and diversity that we aren't feeling the impacts anymore. Our lead time is down to 7 weeks. Our inventory levels are back where they need to be to supply and support the business. So for us, I think we're through the worst of it. I think we're back on track. But I am hearing through the grapevine that certain other components within the industry aren't quite there yet. Some casinos are still struggling a little bit, especially new big openings and expansions requiring large volumes. But I think we're trending the right way, and by middle of next year, I think we'll hopefully get out of the current situation that some people are experiencing.
Okay. Finally, let's look ahead for Interblock. What does the near future hold for you, and what are your fastest growing markets, and what are your upcoming markets that you're looking at?
Well, as you know, we sold the company a couple months ago, so to private equity. So that was really a major undertaking in the past 18 months, the licensing and so forth. Now that we're through that and have a quite large private equity company as our partner and owner, it provides us the capital we need to do, I don't want to say anything, but to really have a wide array of options to choose from. So as we think about the next 5 years for Interblock, I think you'll see us, definitely looking at some M&A activity in various sectors on the periphery. Our vision is when people think of live table games and the future of live table games, we want it to be synonymous with Interblock, whether that be in the traditional land-based side of that definition or online. No matter which distribution method or offering when you consider live table games, we want that to be, and you think of future technology, Interblock to be associated. So we're very much mapping that strategy out at the moment and what that means to us. I think first and foremost is to continue to grow the land-based traditional side of table game technology, as I've been describing. We're still around 1% of the North American casino floor. Mm-hmm. So we're still in the infancy, tip of the iceberg. I think a lot of room to grow. We've almost tripled in size in less than 36 months, being a 28-year-old company. So that's an indication of the trajectory, I think, of table game technology. With that said, though, I think as we think forward, we realize there's a lot of other products and distribution methods on the outskirts of what we're doing that are very synergistic, and we're going to aggressively over the next 12 months or so, I think, start to embark in those areas and make sure that the foundation we've built in Interblock is secure enough. I won't get into details, but we're probably, from an employee perspective, in 6 years, we're 7 times more employees than we had 6 years ago. So we've had to scale. It's taken a lot of our time and energy to make sure that we scaled and provide the service our partners and customers expect. But I think we're pretty close now. At the end of this year, I think we'll have built a foundation and a portfolio of products and diversification across the world with our partners that gives us a lot of options as we think about what we want to do moving forward.
How do you work with the facilities themselves between Slovenia, Las Vegas, and elsewhere? How does that work? I'm just curious. Are you constantly bopping back and forth between here and Europe?
Not just between here and Europe, Asia a couple of weeks ago, and Latin America. So I'm a believer that you really can't run a global company from an office in Vegas, in the gaming sector anyway. I think you have to be out there and really, meet with the major operators around the world, get a feel of what's trending. So I think our mentality as a company is that we're very much integrated, and we spend a lot of time, whether it be in Europe or the US, getting together and having executive meetings and Zoom. Obviously, Zoom or Teams has created a whole new world for a lot of us that definitely is also, I think, to help bridge the distance that you sometimes face being international. But we will keep our manufacturing and a lot of our development will remain in Europe as it has. There's just such a knowledge base and an infrastructure that goes back decades there that it would, in my opinion, I think it would be foolish to think otherwise or do anything else. But we are expanding in other places just because of the talent pool and resources available. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on airplanes and vice versa, and it's worked out pretty well so far.
Well, good luck for G2E. I'm sure you'll have a great show this year, and thanks for being with us today on the Supplier Showcase, John.
Thanks, Frank. Always great to see you.
Thank you for joining us for the GGB Gaming Supplier Showcase, our exclusive look at the best products and services produced by vendors for the gaming, iGaming, and sports betting industries. For more information about the GGB Supplier Showcase, contact Terry Brady at tbrady@ggbmagazine.com.